Welcome to the first Stock Rally. And what is my stock scanner Stock Rally apart from a lot of words that contains stocks? It's very simple. It's 3 investors, it's 6 stocks, and it's 1 finish line. Liam Flavel, Hans-Henrik Nielsen, and Jesper Baehrenz ready to enter the Stock Rally with 2 picks each. We have 1 safe bet and 1 wild card. I could say wild card, safe bet over here, something like that. You guys ready?
Absolutely.
Very. Have you chosen wisely? I'm looking at Liam right now. Have you chosen wisely, Liam?
I've chosen to have a lot more bloody wisely than you have. I know that.
We'll put the 6 stocks through the 3-point playbook. We'll drop them into the stock map and we'll check the valuation. We'll read the technicals and do what investors love doing the most. We will argue about who's right. It's going to be growth. It's going to be versus value, logic versus instinct, safety versus pure opportunity. Gentlemen, start your engines. Hans-Henrik, I'm gonna overtake you right there. Your lead off. Bring us the first stock.
Absolutely. We are going to a stock called Bentley Systems, and that is my sure bet. They have a quality of 96. They are overall really good quality in our 3-point playbook here, printing cash. If we go down to our value chart, we can see that even at fairly modest price earnings for a software company that makes model for people, engineers, architects that build infrastructure, we can see that there is some huge potential here. So it should be a certain winner here. And they are just playing around with the 200-day moving average. They did get a bit of a kick down yesterday, but if they can come above 200, we have some very green in our indicators. I think that is a sure bet.
What says Liam? What do you think? Hans-Henrik stock any good?
Yeah, it is a good stock. It is very good. I mean, you can see from the playbook, it's all green. They had a really good annual or return earnings period last week, wasn't it? A couple of weeks ago, I think. I think the only thing I'd say is the operating margins dropped. And that's we know that investors don't like that, and big sort of investment houses don't like that either. So that could be a drag on what they're doing.
Okay, well, you're very busy with Hans-Henrik stock. I know I asked you a question, but I didn't ask for a lecture. You can lecture us on your first stock here. It's Autodesk, and we are basically having 2 stocks right next to each other that sort of is in the same line of business. Of what's going on here?
Yeah, they are. Just as my screen resolves into why isn't it resolving? Why? Oh, they've got technical issues.
Oh, isn't that just Irish to bring up the technical when something is not really going your way? So, okay, let's have it. Autodesk.
Autodesk. Yeah, it's a big company. It is in a similar area. It deals with computer-aided design type stuff. You can see that it's green almost across the board here. You've got the analysts have dropped their prices by 0.1%. I'm happy to live with that. Key areas, quality, earnings, and the PEG ratio. They're the key things we look at, but also free cash flow. You can see down here is going up and up. The current ratio is something I'd look at a little bit, but from an earnings point of view, the stock bottomed a couple of months ago and has just carried on powering up. And we reckon if it goes back to even the base case, you've got a 38% upside, and it could double. So not a bad position. And also, it's in a pretty good zone, just dropped below the 200. So that's something I'd watch. But actually, I think it should power straight up again.
Can I ask in regards to, it seems like it's in the valuation, it doesn't really is connected to the price right there. It's been above the price all along.
What has been above the price?
If you scroll back one step and you go to the valuation and you see it's above the price all along the lines.
It is, which means actually I'm being really, really pessimistic on these, because actually what we could do is we could pull these up a lot more, and it just gives a ridiculous figure, or it looks ridiculous in this way. So I've just been really, really hard on the PE ratios.
Okay, well, that's fine. I note that you basically start out in the stock rally with 2 stocks that have some sort of car within their name. Bentley, it could have been the car, but it wasn't. Autodesk, it could have been about cars, but it wasn't. So, well, I'm the entertainment guy, so of course I'm gonna go with this. I can't not go with this. It's Netflix. It's already won the streaming war, and today you get a global entertainment leader if you're going to go into that stock. It's basically been hammered down like a lot of stocks have been. The thing is, if we take a look at it, and we will do that when I share the screen right here, see that. If we look at it, quality score of 100, earnings per share just going up and up. Nice PEG ratio. Even the analysts seem to come around. I know that you guys are always on my case when it comes to free cash flow, but these guys, 300 million subscribers, that's just carrying in cash. And I have lowered the PE. If you take a look at this, I'm basically looking at PEs around 22 to, 30, 37. So I'm keeping it real here. Thing is, they're under 200, but I would say in that sense that what they are doing and what they have been doing all along, well, it can, I won't say it can't go wrong, but the thing is that it's 300 million subscribers. They have no direct competition. And just to finish you guys off in the safe bet, look at that stock map right there, pointing up, up, and away. Guys, let me have your verdict.
Now, I'll give you that. We have been looking at Netflix several times. I think we even had it in a face-off a month or two ago. It does look good. It does look good in the stock map. The part about no direct competitors, I actually think there are quite a lot of competitors.
Yeah.
However, they seems to manage fairly well in that competitive space. And if I may finish here, we were really happy about them not getting that bit on Warner Brothers.
That's true. But the thing is, in the streaming wars, the thing is that you're thinking about HBO, you're thinking about Disney, but they, compared to what Netflix have and the way that they've taken awards, they're dominating all the fields, they're bringing in sports, they're bringing in all kinds of things.
Absolutely. It is competition, but it seems like they could be winning the competition.
And Disney have just got things like Swim Barbie sets and videos and things like that. So who wants that?
I think that we better go. We better go to something more manly than Swim Barbie. So let's go to a bull. Hans-Henrik, you're gonna go with Webull as your wild card. Tell us about it.
Yes, Webull, if you are looking at finfluencers, meaning YouTubers that talk about financials, you will stumble upon Webull. They are a retail trader broker, and they offer no cost for trading stocks, and you can get a free stock, and you have probably stumbled upon them. They don't have the best of quality scores, 56, but we can see that they have really turned their business into a growth case here. Their free cash flow is absolutely good. They can even manage to pay the interest on their debt, which can't be set for a lot of people in this space. If you look at it here, we can see that for a while it has looked really, really weird. And I know that the price earnings are high here, but that comes because they are growing massively on their earnings. So if they can keep this, there is some massive potential. Could we put it further down? Yes, we absolutely could, and that would still be a fantastic case. That gives us a so-called margin of safety here. If we look at the chart here, it just went above the 200. We have green in both MTIs. We have green in MTX here in the background. And looking at the stock map, it actually showed we could have entered quite far back, but right now it's still moving in the right direction. I know it's a wild card, but I kind of like it.
Liam, are we out bull riding instead of stock rallying now?
Oh, maybe your sound would be good.
Yeah.
You'd have thought I'd know how to do this by now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But all excuses should be said. You're not on a show computer.
Exactly. That's the important thing. We'll even turn that one on for 2 months. Bull. When you went to Hans and said bull, I thought you meant bullshit. But obviously, he has picked a decent stock. It is heading in the right direction. I think the problem is the revenue is quite volatile, and you haven't got too much data to go on. But they've got 30 million subscribers. That's sort of almost a Netflix type sort of operation where they're just picking up people. So it does look good.
What are you saying? 300 million is not the same as 30
but these
million.
guys actually spend money. Yeah, the Netflix guys. Yeah,
I like that. It's the two of you that is arguing over my stock. Just keep going. I'll get a cup of coffee.
No. Let's move on. Let's get to Liam's wild card. The thing is, I love when Irish people have to bring in the word intelligent in the picks, because this is CCC Intelligent Solutions. Is that an intelligent pick?
It's an incredibly intelligent pick. We know from the stock map, looking at the actual sectors and the industries, that actually financials and insurance are going up at the moment. And this company is a tech company, but it provides tech resources into what's called property casualty insurers. So they're actually pretty integral in the whole link between claims adjusters and insurers and brokers and so on. Quality score isn't great, and that's because the history hasn't been that good. But they're actually posted to get a really good result for the next couple of years. PEG ratio is...
So you're running on hope?
No,
is that it?
no,
that's
is not how it works here. You know that. It's fingers crossed and touching wood at the same time. But no, we're looking at actually the company's turned a corner and it's put its money where its mouth is. It's invested. But you can see actually the key to this is free cash flow has been growing for the last few years. So that's given them the money to invest and build up their business. So I would say it's pretty much green across the board, and the PEG ratio looks great. From a position point of view, valuation point of view, it's dirt cheap, and it bounced, I would say, back in July, about a month and a half ago. So even on the worst case scenario, I reckon there's a 60% upside in just 6 months or 4 months now, isn't it? Because we're in August, and actually it could go even higher. You could specify it pretty much anywhere along this line down here. So I think it's a really, really good stock. It's also broken the 50 and 200. The MTX fired, and we also have greens on the MTI. What's not to like?
Basically, this is a rally driver that drove the car into the ditch a couple of times and then said, "Oh, I promise next year I'll keep it on the road." Is that it?
Unlike your stocks, which had a falling knife in them, basically. Not as big a falling knife as one, that we might be about to see in a minute. But yes, to be honest, I think this is just as safe a bet as Autodesk. So I've just gone with two very, very good stocks, and you can eat my dust.
You guys. See, the thing is, guys, I have to remind you, this is a stock rally, not a stock car race where you drive into one another. But it sounds like that's what we're doing. But then again, I'll call the luck of the Irish. So let's take a look at my third, or rather second pick, the wild card. And I know the reason why this is a wild card is because just wait until Liam cuts loose. There we go. Here was the exhaust pipe on him coming out. It's basically one of the stocks that Liam really hate. But it's a quality software compounder. There's no arguing with that. Q2 revenue rose by 13%, even though the stock has been knocked down.
Are we supposed to be seeing your screen?
We're about.
There's no point. Really, no point.
Do you want to? So basically, you want to see what it looks like?
Yeah, I like Adobe. I like Adobe.
Okay, great. Yeah, okay, Adobe, here we go. Look at it. See, the thing is, if we're talking about how it's basically scoring, then it's earnings per share going up. Do we agree?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, great. Revenue going up.
Yeah,
free cash flow is great. Quality score is great. Everything looks really, really good. And it always looks really, really good. And then you buy it and it kills you.
See, the thing is, if you bought it at the right time, look at it. People have made money. This is PE of 10,
and it deserves to be there.
And 20. Well, yeah, but you're still making money, 120% up on PE of 20.
Well,
Come on, guys.
If you followed our stock map, you would have made 20% by now.
That is true. That is true. Okay. And I didn't have the stock map as a tool over the last 10 years or so.
There you go. Look at the stock map. It's just broken. I admit that. There should be one hair in the soup. So, but anyhow, guys, come on. You can't tell me that Adobe is not.
I'm a fan.
If you are talking about hair in the suit with Adobe, I know exactly what kind of hair it is.
Yeah, it can only be one guy of the three of us.
I think
no, but
I was just going to say the issue you got with Adobe is generative AI is eating their lunch to an extent, because why do you need Photoshop and any of these big platforms anymore if you've got AI, which will produce most of the stuff. We don't use Photoshop. We would have used it 2 years ago. So I think a lot of their market has disappeared, and Adobe Acrobat is an anachronism and should be abolished. They should be in jail for creating it.
Okay. Oh, there we go. You just keep going. You take it so perfectly.
I had to code an Adobe Acrobat system about 20 years ago, and I hated it.
There we go. See, this is the sort of end of the first stock rally that we're having. We had basically stocks for any occasion here. You could have gone with Hans-Henrik's Bentley System, BWSY, Autodesk from Liam, ADSK. I had Netflix, NFLX. Then we had 3 wildcards, Bull from Hans-Henrik, CCC from Liam. I give you points for having the easy one. And then ADB that, Liam is never going to look at. So anyhow, but the thing is, we will be back next week. We'll have 6 new stocks. You guys are welcome in the comments. Put in your wildcard, your safe bet. See if you can beat us, and we'll take it up next week. Guys, nice racing. You kept it on the track. I respect that. And then we'll see each other in a week's time. Okay, you have a good one. Cheers, mates.